Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays, and I am back again with some more Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra news and updates here on the channel, guys. We actually have a lot of stuff to talk about. We're also going to be doing a final roster prediction. We kind of have what the full roster looks like right now, but it's very likely that there will be new characters just because the official website says coming soon on the little character tab, so that means that they are likely going to be updating it with new stuff. We did get one new character reveal a few weeks ago, which was Goku Mini. They showed a little gameplay trailer of that, and he actually looks amazing, right? He can go Super Saiyan, because, you know, in this game, you can have, like, little awakenings. But other than that, I think there's only just one form that you could get with it. So, let's talk about this new event that is going to be happening. Probably, likely, new reveals, likely maybe a release date, an update on what's going on with the game, and maybe new characters. We'll see. So, the event has been confirmed to take place at the Apple Omotesando, I don't know how to pronounce that, on Friday, August 29th. So that's going to be in a couple of weeks. Okay, it's going to be the week right after Gamescom. So that's actually going to be pretty good, right? The producer of Gekishin Squadra will take the stage to share stories about game development. Don't miss the latest updates right there on Gekishin. That's the only thing you need to know. I know y'all don't give a fuck about what development and everything. Y'all don't give a shit about that. Y'all want to see new shit, right? I'm just messing around. Okay, maybe, not really. But yeah, how to participate in this. So, I'm going to assume there will be a stream of this on Bandai's shit. I have no idea. Maybe it'll be an Apple stream. This is weird because this is similar to something that happened with Dragon Ball Legends before it launched, okay? This is actually the first reveal of Dragon Ball Legends that we got. I remember, I think it was a Google Play event. Now this time around, it looks like they're doing an Apple event for it. So at that Google Play event, they were just talking about, like, how, you know, new games are going to be having all this worldwide, you know, connection and access and everything. And then they revealed, oh, by the way, there's a new Dragon Ball game coming, and it's in development. And then they revealed it, and it looked amazing, right? Dragon Ball Legends is so sick. So when you first see that, like, game like that on a mobile device, you're like, bro, like, that's amazing. So this seems to be a similar thing. Now, it says participate. Okay. I guess you can participate. I would assume this is going to be like a live thing, right? We'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see. So I'm going to zoom in here because this is very, very small. Discover the magic of the new Dragon Ball game. We'll say that again. Dragon Ball magic. So, I don't know. I'm assuming this is the Japan time. So for us, I don't know what the conversion is. You guys can do it if you need to, depending on where you live. But it says Dragon Ball Gekishin. What the fuck? Okay, I guess the translation got messed up. Gekishin Squadra is the latest mobile game for iPhone. Why not get excited with your friends and play along? Play with this long-awaited game. Toshi, the game's producer. Toshi will be there, right? So yeah, it's funny. That's where he moved to. He moved to Gekishin Squadra this whole time, which we know about, right? We'll talk about the story behind the game's production and the latest information on the game. Okay, again, that's what you're looking for, right? Plus, the session will feature a sneak preview of the game's contents. Excellent. So we will be seeing, like, actual, you know, probably like gameplay, right? So this will probably just be like a full gameplay reveal. Hopefully it will be streamed. I don't see why it wouldn't. Explore the appeal of the games. Or this could not even, I don't even know if this is going to be live. It could be a pre-recorded thing. They usually do that. Which have become an important means of connecting people. The game producer Toshi. This is a must-see session for Dragon Ball fans and game enthusiasts alike. Okay, so yeah, you guys don't want to miss this if you care about this game, right? And I know there are a lot of Dragon Ball fans that aren't really into it. Okay, the MOBA style game, but judging from how many people have already pre-registered, because again, this is a free-to-play game, okay? It's not like Dragon Ball The Breakers, where up front you have to pay $20 for a game that is very live servicey, mobile kind of game-esque. Like, again, that was a huge mistake, and that's why Breakers is just like a failure. It really is a failure, because they didn't make it free-to-play, okay? So I'll go over how many people are actually pre-registered already. And this is before we even know when the release date is, right? So that's looking pretty good. Look at fucking Toshi's face, bro. That's great. So on here, if you guys recall, if you didn't, see, this is not the official release date. It's likely this is when it will release. I think October makes the most sense. It's supposed to come out this year, right? But and this is only on the Apple Store. It says pre-order expected October 20th, 2025, okay? Most Dragon Ball games, I guess like newer ones more recently, have been dropping in the fall, specifically October. That seems to be when they like to do it. Breakers dropped in October, Sparking Zero dropped in October, Xenoverse 2 dropped in October. This game likely going to be the same case, right? That means we'll have this in October, and then we'll have Sparking Zero on Switch 1 month later. So that's great. So the fall is going to be really big for Dragon Ball. I think this is going to be a I think this can be a very successful game. I'm not saying it will be. I'm just saying it has the potential. Sparking Zero also had the potential, but, I mean, Sparking Zero is very successful. It's just that, you know, there are a lot of people that have issues with how the game was handled and stuff. But I digress. Again, it's a free-to-play game. So, with it being free-to-play, 2 million have already pre-registered. That's really good. That's really impressive, right? For a game that not really that... I mean, a genre that not a lot of Dragon Ball fans really care for, right? This is pretty important. And who knows how many players it'll maintain on launch. Okay, we'll definitely have to see, like, how successful and how well it does, but because it's free to play, it's like Dragon Ball Legends in a sense, and it's also like Dokkan, right? I know those games have microtransactions. Obviously, this game is likely going to have it as well, but this one seems to be more of it's likely going to be more in that live service direction, similar to My Hero Rumble, right? MHA Rumble on launch, I think on Steam, it had, I think it was like 50,000 players, which for My Hero Academia, you know, like that's really good. Anime games usually don't get up to, they usually don't break around 20,000 players at launch, depending on the game. It's like, more recently, we've seen anime games, they struggle to even reach 10,000 players at launch, right? And this is specifically Steam charts, okay? I'm specifically talking about Steam charts. This is just from my memory of it. I cannot speak for the other consoles. There's obviously going to be way more on the consoles, but I'm just saying, like, average-wise, like, it gives you a general trend and idea, right? So, Gekishin Squadra could do really well. The fact that it already has 2 million people, but a lot of these people could have pre-registered, might not even remember that they did. They probably haven't even been following the game, so they have no idea when it's potentially coming out. Some people might have not even tried the beta. Like, they might have just been like, oh, I see Dragon Ball in the title. I don't know what this game is about, but it's Dragon Ball, so who gives a fuck? Let's try it out, right? So, this could be one of those games where it's like, it's just because it's fresh and it's new, and people jump on it, and they're like, okay, let's try this out, and then they play it, and they're like, I don't know about this. This isn't like a fighting game. It's not like a, you know, a Sparking Zero or Xenoverse 2, but it's way more exciting than something like Dragon Ball The Breakers or Dokkan Battle, for example. No shade to those games. I'm just saying that those aren't really fighting games. They're, you know, Dokkan is specifically like more of like a turn-based type of thing. But there's a lot of strategy into it, and I think that's why it's very successful. And then, you know, Breakers, that's such a... Breakers is such an awesome concept, but it's just such a weird concept for Dragon Ball, right? Like, who would have thought? I would have never thought in a million years we would get a horror-based asymmetrical horror game for Dragon Ball. That's insanity. Like, who is cooking, bro? That's crazy. So, the pre-registration for 3 million, which it's likely we'll get to, is when they're going to also drop Mini Goku. They already revealed him, so they're going to drop him either way, right? But I think this is, when it releases, like at the time of release, everybody gets Son Goku Mini for free. So if you haven't registered, make sure to register so that we can all get this at launch. Again, we're likely still going to get him either way. I just don't know when. They might have him where it's like, you have to unlock him in the game if you don't reach 3 million. Okay, this is like by default, you log in and boom, you got Son Goku Mini, right? And he's really cool. Okay, from the gameplay that we saw, they showed it or whatever. I'll try to play some clips of it. He looks really good. He uses his power pole. He has Glorio and Pansy integrated into his moveset, kind of like some of the other characters. And that's why this game is cool, because they have like those unique things. So it's like an assist type of deal that they have. And he can also transform into Super Saiyan, which is good, okay? Better than what Xenoverse 2 has. Xenoverse 2, you can't even go Super Saiyan. Sparking Zero, you couldn't even go Super Saiyan at launch, right? You had to wait until DLC 2 dropped just to get Super Saiyan Goku, right? It's crazy. So let's talk about roster-wise, okay? That's everything that you need to know to catch up on, you know, the game. We broke down everything, so if you need to go back and get a refresher, feel free to. We're talking about roster currently right now. all the information on that and my predictions. Okay, I have 3 characters that I'm going to predict. I recently watched Dotto's and Nano's, their key moments. Check them out. They're really cool. They have a podcast. They were talking about the roster, and they said that there are currently 16 playable characters in the game, as you can see right here. Now, this is, what is this? This is the KDA, okay? So, kills, deaths, and assists, right? So 16 characters plus the kid, or Goku Mini, so 17. So they were saying that there's a good chance that they'll round it off at 20 for the base roster. And obviously more characters will come. This is going to be, one of those games that just gets updates probably every couple of weeks or maybe at least once a month. If they don't do it that often, then this game might not do too well, right? They have to pump out content. And this is a game where I think they can do that pretty, not easily, but kind of like a Dragon Ball Legends and Dokkan style, where it's like they have a schedule that they can work on. Okay, and this is developed by a completely different developer compared to the other games. Okay, Legend is Dimps, and Dokkan is the Akatsuki. So this one is Ganbarion, who also developed Dragon Ball Fusion. So the fact that they have it's not like too many devs, one dev doing too many games at one time. That's good, right? They'll have time to be able to, make characters as frequently as they possibly can. So, I have 3 characters on my predictions that we'll go over. These are predictions of who I think is most likely to appear in the base. There's obviously going to be, like I said, pretty much everyone eventually I think will get into this game for the most part. But characters like Frieza First Form, who has Dodoria and Zarbon integrated into his moveset, I don't know if they're even willing to make... Because, each character has a very unique moveset. There's not one character that I've played or seen on this roster so far that has anything remotely similar to another character, right? They all have something unique. They might perform and, do similar things, right? This stuns. This inflicts bleed or whatever. Not that's some Dragon Ball Legend shit. But, this is like a poison, or, this move heals, right? They're all going to have a similar type of effect, but the damage and everything and the animations are unique, right? And that's why a lot of people like it whenever a Dragon Ball game has love like this. And these models are beautiful, by the way. If you just look at them, you can just see them from their little profile pics. They are so close to the manga. This is as close to the manga, I think, other than Dragon Ball FighterZ, right? So Baby Young Body is currently at number 1 with the best KDA. And Trunks is at the lowest at 16. I use Trunks. He's cool. But, yeah, I definitely wasn't, doing too well with him, right? I think the character I did best with was Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla. So, her at number 2 tracks, right? That makes sense, right? Krillin at number 3 is not really a surprise, but it is pretty impressive just because he's a technical character, right? So, I think that's pretty good, right? Other than that, I mean, the only characters I did not really... Son Gohan... why did I say it like that? Kid Gohan. I like him. He's just not... I'd rather just use Krillin, right? First Form Frieza, I had zero interest in playing him at all. Him and Majin Buu, Fat Buu, didn't care about them at all. Dabura was all... oh, wow. I said it wrong. No, it's Dabura. Dabura is the GOAT. He was also really good. Who else did I like? Obviously, Goku and Vegeta were characters I used the most. I'd say I used Caulifla, Krillin, Goku, Vegeta, and Dabura the most. Every other character I tried at least one other time, but I felt like those other the characters I just recently listed are the ones that I felt most comfortable with. Here are the hero win rate rankings, okay? So Android 18 is at number 1 at a 56.3%. Shout outs to Android 18 and Krillin, husband and wife, at the top. And once again, Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla and Baby are in the top 5. Very impressive. Again, makes sense because they had the best KDA. They were the top 2. Wow, Vegeta is that low? Really? He's a tank, and I felt like he was still really good. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Fat Buu, that tracks. I don't know. Fat Buu was... I don't even know what he was. I think he was he a technical? there weren't many technical characters. It was Gohan, Krillin, and actually I think it might have been Frieza. I don't remember, bro. I can't remember exactly who was. I know Caulifla was an attack type. That's why she was really good. Same thing with, I think, Dabura. Or was he a tank? Fuck, I don't remember. Baby's a tank. I know he was a tank, but yeah. This is pretty impressive to see this. People were really using Krillin in 18, which is cool. These are characters that are kind of underrated in a lot of Dragon Ball games. And that's why, again, that's why Gekishin is so cool. Because, like, Goku is at 6th place. He's not even in the top 5, okay? This is the main character of the series. And Vegeta, the second main character in the series, was at 15th, right? So it hasn't... This doesn't have to do with how powerful the character is in the series. It's not like Sparking Zero, for example, where it's like, oh, we got to make it lore accurate for the most part. This game is like, okay, each character has their own perks depending on what type like they are, right? Because, again, this is the win rate. So people are winning with Android 18 and Krillin the most, okay? That's really good. But, again, like, characters like this is the KDA, right? Baby, Super Saiyan 2, Caulifla, and Krillin at the top is really crazy. Even Gohan, Kid Gohan at 4th is crazy. You know, Trunks, a very powerful character on this list in the series, is at 16th. Same thing with Zamasu, dude. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy, right? Hero pick. Now, this does make sense, okay, so far from what I'm seeing. Goku's at number 1. I think at launch, everybody goes to Goku and they try him out at least one time. He is the most vanilla, bread and butter character. He's a very neutral type of character in the aspect of him being well-rounded and balanced for the most part, okay? Baby Young Body, I should have used him. I feel like I used him only like one or two times, right? He's in the top 5 for every single list. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. So again, nobody cared about Boo. Unfortunately, people did not care about Piccolo, Frieza, and Kid Gohan. I'm surprised the Buddha was so low because people were really gassing him up. You know what I mean? But yeah, I guess this is like a popularity contest at the end of the day, right? This is what this specific chart is showing, right? So Baby being that high, I think it's just because he's such a unique character that's in like no other Dragon Ball games. Young Body specifically. I'm not talking about Baby Vegeta. Baby Vegeta is like in every game, right? Young Body Baby, where it's like the one where he's literally just him. I think people kind of gravitated towards, oh, wow, this is a character that, like, I never see in a game. Let's try him out, right? And he's actually really good. He's actually damn good. Watch out for him, right? Trunks being pretty high, but that's crazy. He's so high up, but he's so low on everything else. His win rate is horrible. That just means I think he's just a shit character, which is sad. He's my favorite character in the series, right? But for this game, like, even I could tell that he wasn't all that great. I think he can be good depending on your skill, obviously. I think you can do well with any of these characters, right? But the fact that he's so low on the KDA and the win rate, but he's so popular as a playable character says a lot. Yikes. Android 18 and Vegeta. Okay, that makes sense. Man, Android 18 is very popular. Makes sense, right? Android 18, you know, she's cool. Caulifla is pretty high up. Krillin's pretty, you know, the top 10. I'm surprised that Bojack made the top 10. That's kind of crazy. I feel like not many people really care for Bojack compared to a lot of the movie characters. Like, you can compare Bojack to Cooler and Broly. Like, he's not shit. He's my favorite movie villain. Just because that's my favorite movie. Obviously, I would gravitate towards him. But yeah, I feel bad for Piccolo, man. I think he deserved to be much higher, but I think just his character typing or whatever maybe wasn't that appealing. We need Orange Piccolo. All right, so let's talk about my roster predictions. Again, 17 characters. There's 16 right now. 17 will be Goku Mini. I think the first choice I'm going to go for is First Form Cell that transforms. Maybe. Actually, I don't know. No, because because they have first form Frieza and they have Fat Boo. Those are like the base characters for these versions of them, right? The base forms. And they don't transform. So it would probably, I feel like there's a very high chance we'll get a Cell. That's like, those are the big three of Dragon Ball Z's villains. So first form, Imperfect Cell, I think would make a lot of sense. He's very unique compared to the other forms of Cell. So I feel like that would be a choice that they would go for. Eventually, I think we'll get the other forms, but I think it's disappointing that they can't transform. Like a lot of, like, Bojack can transform the full power. Vegeta, Caulifla, Cooler, Trunks, and Goku, they can all transform as well. So it's like, why didn't they do that for Frieza and Fat Boo? Like, they don't even need to progress through all their forms. Like, they can just go straight to their best, right? Frieza just go fourth form or final form, and then Fat Boo, let him just go Boo. Let him go Kid Boo. Let him just go Boo, right? Yeah. But yeah, I think Cell is likely going to make the cut for the launch roster. I do think Hit has good potential of being in here just because he's such a popular character, right? In Dragon Ball FighterZ, he was one of the few characters that was in the launch roster, okay? I think a lot of people like Hit. He's a very, very powerful character in almost every Dragon Ball game he's in, and I think he's become a staple to a lot of Dragon Ball game rosters that are like modern, right? The modern games, right? And then my last choice will be Broly. I don't know. Okay, that's the thing. I feel like Z Broly is more likely, but I feel like Super Broly would be a better choice just because he's so popular, right? So one of the Brolys I think are making it in because they have Cooler, okay? And Broly is way more popular than Cooler is, right? I'd say those are the most popular movie characters. So Broly has to make the cut. I think that's a very good choice. So I think Cell, Hit, and Broly will be the last three characters. If we're rounding it off to 20, there could be more. There could be less, right? They might just drop like one more character and just round it off at 18 and be like, all right, that's our roster for now, right? So let me know down in the comments what you think. Who do you want to see in the final cut of the game? Again, this very likely we'll get it in a couple of months. It'll be dropping, but we'll see. All right. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.